awaydaysbeer.com. Proud to partner with Talking Town. For only $14.99, grab your ITFC Legends Pack from The Beat to Hoppy Robson to Brazil's Best and Pablo's Pal. Whatever you need, whatever you want. ITFC Legends Pack, $14.99 at awaydaysbeer.com. Grab it today. Mass Creations are proud partners of Talking Town. High quality web and software development. From web development to SEO and everything in between, make your vision a reality with Mass Creations. Call 07896 904 571 or visit masscreations.co.uk or email info@masscreations.co.uk. Mass Creations, proud partners of Talking Town. Don't forget, tell them you came from Talking Town to get 10% off. Best Burger in Stone Market, proud partners of Talking Town. Call 01449 680 058 to book a table today. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the full-time show, the Fans React. So I'm, of course, your host, Martin, the Governor Lambert, and I'm joined by the Cruncher and the Media Mogul, Matt Phillips.
Scotland get battered everywhere they go. Scotland get battered everywhere they go. Out you go. Go and polish your trophy for Friday, boys.
Yeah, adios. A few comments. Don't forget, you can get your comments live into the show via the live chat. Just put them in the chat there, or of course you can appear via the live link. Mike Brown, Slot getting the second half after a promising first half. Scotland are out, says Paragen. Colin Plum, done enough. Now waiting for the real action to start. James Warren Elmer, bye bye Scotland. What a day. Matt, what did you make of that second half?
Did you stay awake for the second half?
Yeah, I thought it was great stuff. Really did.
It was. It sort of went into kind of like friendly levels, isn't it? But I mean, what does worry me a little bit? I mean, good. Look, we got the win. Fantastic. You know, and we contained them for the second half. What does worry me a little bit was what they were saying that Southgate and Steve Holland, was it, kind of plotted this route through from the group stages through the tournament.
Yeah.
With caution being like the main thing. I'm not so sure about that. I sometimes think you can be in a mindset of like not trying to lose the game rather than win it. And it's certainly if you to concede first against Germany, Portugal, France, then that goes out the window a little bit, isn't it? So I don't know.
It's a different game plan, isn't it? I mean, what Sam Matterface was saying was that they've plotted the route of the previous winners, Portugal, Greece, those sorts of countries, and it's safety first. It's built on a good defence. It's built on a solid clean sheet, which is, face it, a lot of teams that usually do well are built upon. But yes, you're all right. Going behind, you'll see a different England. Crunch, what did you make of it? Hock says job done. We'll come onto the knockout stages in a wee bit. George Nunn, our own very George, called it garbage on WhatsApp. I always think, Crunch, there's two different ways. You know, it's tournament football. Fans look at it as they want to see the best in flair, Zamba, goals, whereas teams want to win and just get through any way they can. That's why Sam Allardyce was employed as England manager, to get through a tournament like this. Winning 1-0, winning 2-1, but winning. Because winning is what's mostly important, not winning 4-3 or whatever.
I'll tell you what that second half was like. It was like walking football.
It was
piss poor, Martin.
I
If you thought that was good, football is not for you. That was shit. It was shit. Come on. No one out there can say that was a good second half. There's too many shit
what you're watching or what you're watching it for. I was watching it to see England in utter control. They zipped it when they wanted to zip it. They slowed it down when they wanted to slow it down. Nothing in that second half went without England allowing it to. Look, and that was good to see. That was really good to see.
Trying to grind out 1-0 wins against top side. It's not going to work. When we play a France, when we play a Germany or Portugal, they will take us to the cleaners.
I disagree.
They will take us to the cleaners.
We got the goal.
With the mentality of Southgate. The mentality of Southgate. No, not for me.
I disagree. I disagree because I do think England are built on getting a goal and then asking you the question: can you beat us?
But Richard stormed off then.
Yeah, no. Look at Croatia game. Same thing happened again. Once we scored, we backed off. We asked, could you beat us?
Love Ireland start?
Could you beat us? I honestly, for me, this is why I don't watch a lot of international football throughout the year, because it's about just grinding out results, getting through. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I mean, look at France and Hungary last week. France were really rocked by Hungary.
Well,
There's
different level, Martin. France are than us.
Based on what? Based on what?
Hang on, they're the world champions.
Okay, but what have you seen in this? This is tournament to tournament basis, Matt. What happened 5 years ago is irrelevant. What happened 2 years ago is irrelevant. What happened last year is irrelevant.
Do you think? Look, there's a good chance we could play France in the next round, everyone. There's a good chance that could happen, because I think Germany will beat Hungary tomorrow. I think maybe Portugal and France could be a draw, and suddenly the French go into second place. Therefore, they come into Wembley next Tuesday.
France aren't winning the group.
That is going to be a very, very, very difficult game.
They're all difficult games at this level. They all are.
Well, tonight wasn't. Really. We made heavy with it in the second half because we tried to contain the result.
Too many shit teams in there, Matt, in this tournament. There's too many crap teams going through.
I said, Rich, in the promo for the show tonight, they are 40th in the world, sandwiched between South Korea and Australia. We should be beating them comfortably.
Nothing.
But we've not really done anything in the second half.
Disagree.
We just consolidated at 1-0.
All good teams.
I do get what you're saying, though, in terms of it's always a bigger picture in the tournaments, isn't it? Because you've got 3 games.
But where's the momentum? Where's the momentum?
But that goes back to what we said at the top of the show, wasn't it? We didn't have much momentum going into tonight because of the 0-0. I suppose you could say we have some momentum going into the next round because we've won the game. But that could certainly die when we find out who we're playing.
I did say though, didn't I? Take your pick on momentum. You've got we're through as top of the group. We haven't conceded a goal. We've never looked really.
Not played anybody. They're all fucking average. Who we played?
Well, hang on. You can't be whining this. You can't be walking this dog one way and then changing your mind the other. Hungary, France.
It was a favourable group, wasn't it? Because Scotland 44, Czech 40th, Croatia decent, but maybe a shadow of what they were a couple of years back when they got to the World Cup semi-final. But that said, they've done, like you said, they've done enough to get through to the knockout stage. Could become a different beast in knockout football with Modric and co.
I would be intrigued to see what this England team is like when they go a goal behind. You'll
probably find out Tuesday.
We're yet to see it because your game plan goes out the window. And I think the game plan, what I'm seeing so far, is simply to do enough to get yourself in front and then ask the opposition to beat you. Can they get themselves back in? And then you exploit the gaps behind as they try to come out and beat you more and press you. You can then just pick them up on the counter. That seems to be the Southgate Holland way for me at the moment. We come out firing, grab a goal if we can. Croatia, it took longer than maybe tonight, but tonight, for example, we flew out the traps and then you retreat and you sit back in a shape and ask to be beaten.
Yeah, I suppose the issue is that you're in 2 games that come out. Well, a little bit against Scotland, we came out the traps, but certainly tonight and Croatia, we came out the traps. Yet we haven't scored more than 1 goal in either of those games. So it does. I mean, look, Kane did come into the game more in the first half than he did the whole of Friday night, dropping a little bit deeper. But I don't know. Where can you look? Sterling's the only one who's
your goal scorer's not scoring. That's your issue.
Yeah, we've relied on Sterling.
And again, France didn't win a World Cup without Giroud scoring, Matt.
Yeah, I think France 98. None of their strikers scored when they won the World Cup 98. But you don't want to be you want your strikers to be firing really in an ideal world, don't you?
I hear you loud and clear, but I see nobody from the next group that scared me so far. Nobody. Not one of those
from the Germany, Portugal, France group.
France were rocked by Hungary, by pressing, by directness.
Don't talk nonsense. They weren't rocked.
How many of them beers have you had since we last spoke?
Bang on the head over there.
Hang on. Friday night, it was all about how the French would rock up to Hungary and smash them wide open, and they'll show us up. They never did that.
I did say that. Yeah.
No, they weren't rocked. They were rocked. They had to dig in and find something else against the Hungary.
Whoever ends up beating France will win this tournament. Whoever ends up beating France will win this tournament.
I just think it's such an English point of view of everyone's bigger and better than we are. Like if we were American right now, we would be we're top of the group, not considered a goal. We're amazing. We shouldn't be fearing anybody, but we're British. It's always
like Brown. Mine's had too many meds.
Honestly, what have you seen? Come on the show and tell me, what have you seen that I haven't?
What's a fucking lot? Second half was boring.
From the other teams that we're going to be facing: Hungary, Portugal, France, Germany.
We've seen France outplay Germany. We've seen Germany crunch Portugal. I don't know.
Well,
we're just trying to be realistic.
Did they, Matt? Because expected goals had Germany.
I don't want. You'll remember back when Ipswich beat Shrewsbury. I said, I wish we hadn't won that game because it gave everyone false hope. Stop giving everyone false hope. This is a dicey next game for us, whoever it's going to be out of that group.
I don't deal in ifs, buts, and maybe. I deal in absolutely, as somebody once famously said.
I'm giving you an absolutely. It's going to be bloody tough.
I should have done it with the accent. I don't deal in ifs, buts, and maybes. I did in absolutes. That's what. Were you laughing at? Were you laughing? So that's the accent he did it. If you haven't seen that video, you go and check it out. It is quite something. It's on the Anfield version of Arsenal Fan TV.
We finally saw both Dortmund boys, didn't we? Bellingham.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they give Sancho 8 minutes?
Can I just say,
8 minutes?
Lee Dixon makes me laugh. He talks about Jude Bellingham getting the best in footballing education at Dortmund, but yet Sancho, who's also in Germany and having a good football education, isn't good enough to start. And it's like you're picking and choosing which battles to classic Lee Dixon.
I do feel like Sam Matterface and Dixon are letting the ITV coverage down because the pundits with Pugac are like top draw, aren't they? But I don't know. I don't know about Lee Dixon.
I think the Titanic and the iceberg had more chemistry, to be honest.
Yeah, well, he said that it weren't a corner or something. The ball.
What was he on about? He's guessing. He said he's guessing.
The best one was when we went, no one's paying attention. Well, no, Sam, because the flag went about 30 seconds before that. So, come on.
Yeah.
Lee Anderson.
It's good to. Go on, mate. Go for it.
And none of them wanted England to finish top. Works both ways. Yeah,
I was going to say it's good to see Bellingham at 17 getting time, but that's weird, isn't it? Because we said in the show earlier, Southgate was Hoddle gave Owen minutes from the top in World Cup '98. Yeah, Bellingham and Sancho barely featured, so it was nice to see Bellingham at least get a decent amount. But what's the point of Sancho getting 8 minutes? I don't get it. What's he going to do? Score a brace?
It's a Mick McCarthy versus Selena. I'll throw you a bone. It's the more you call for it, the less you'll get it. But you'll get 8 minutes at the end where you can't really put anything into the game, and people can say, "Well, you had 10 minutes and you didn't do nothing."
I remember that game at Burton away when he brought him on with 10 minutes. Free shirt in the crowd.
I bet he did. I bet Mick McCarthy threw something else that day. Ben Moore, Hungary played well, high press against France. I'd say they did, and France were rocked. I'd like to think we would have a high press against whoever we play Tuesday and then look to counter with our pace when games get tough. Yeah, the blueprint I'm kind of detailing here. Exactly.
If you play against Germany, they've got Hummels who's got his Zimmer frame out, so we could do a bit of damage against it. I think France will beat Portugal tomorrow, and I think Germany will win and we'll play the Germans.
If we get Germany, then Saka, based on tonight, has to start. I mean, he's pasted around Matt Hummels. Good grief. Iron kneecaps.
He disappeared out of the game second half, mine. They all did. Did Grealish do enough?
No. But then that's tactically what I think they're being asked. Look, you got the goal, you sit in, you form a shape, you become formidable to be broken down, and then you pick them off, win the ball back, zip it and go. Because then times that second half, when there was space, they zipped it into midfield and into attack very quickly. They could still, at any point, just turn it on. And that's the sort of things I was watching that second half. It was those moments were good. They were just fleeting because they were being tough to break down. They didn't want to go for a second.
I think the Czechs were happy as well, weren't they? They didn't really. They knew that they were through.
In a way, is playing at Wembley a drawback for us? Because there is a bit of pressure. We are expected to be the better team, so we are more of a restricted, not as fluid team. We are more sit in 2 banks of 4, break us down, we'll pick you off. Whereas away from home, maybe there would be less pressure. Is Wembley a hindrance, do you feel, a little bit?
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't have thought so. Would you, Rich? I mean, had they come second tonight, would have gone to Copenhagen, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That would have suited us, Brits. Like all packed in stadium like that,
certainly like a sort of EFL bottom half Premier League kind of ground in Copenhagen.
Loftus.
And then you wouldn't have support, would you, if you went over there? Could you? I don't know. I see the Welsh are not allowed to travel, are they?
No.
So
you say that, but I bet 10 o'clock news Saturday evenings full of Welsh people in
we haven't touched on the Mason Mount Chilwell sort of
We haven't. No. I'll bring Colin in just a second. Touch on it then, Rich. Because it's a bit stupid, isn't it?
It is. I do agree with Roy Keane. I agree with Roy Keane. Why are you having a chat for 20 minutes? I know that they play together at Chelsea. I get that. But this is the trouble with football nowadays, isn't it? When you see them in the tunnel before the game, they're all matey. And no, just get out there and fucking play your game.
Why does it talk like this? Why do they talk like this? I don't get. I mean, that's the baseball move. You've got the mitt. You don't.
It's so the camera can't pick them up, isn't it? And lip readers.
I find that weird.
It is weird, isn't it? Where obviously the Scots are out, but Gilmore's been around all of them. They've obviously they flew down, didn't they? Then they're in the dressing room. Just weird.
I mean, Steve Clark's down the touchline hugging him. And it's Chilwell. Because COVID chooses the last people you come into contact with. So maybe it was Clark, then Chilwell, then I don't know. It's just
Mount won't play next week because I think they isolate till Monday, don't they? He's not going to train. So
he won't be able to train, will he?
That's a blessing in disguise, though, I feel, sometimes, because those three weren't working.
Martin asked the question Friday night, what does Mason Mount bring to the team?
They just aren't working. But it is a bit of a laughable situation. I'm not quite sure how they work out who gets to... Because obviously he would have gone into that dressing room after hugging them and everything. But
it's probably impossible to work out, Martin. That's the issue. Because it's so many variables all the time, isn't it?
Tesco's. Jack Messenger with a great memory there. The thing is...
Give it a rest, Jack.
I just when you hear stories of like Terry Butcher, who when he played Scotland and one of his mates from the dressing room was there playing for Scotland, he was like, "Oh, hello, Big Tell," and Terry just blanked him.
That's McCoist.
Like, you're just him. You
went all right, big lad, and Butcher just ignored him.
Look when Man United played Everton and Phil Neville was playing, and Gary totally blanked his brother. Didn't want to know him.
Those kind of characters, aren't they? He's that kind of character, Gary.
But that's what I want. I want blinkered, top
vision.
level, like, I'm England, you're Scotland. We're in a tournament situation. We're not Chelsea. We're not da-da-da. We're just 100% this way.
The amount of tweets tonight saying, get Dykes off. That's all coming up on timelines.
How does Scotland do? Anyone know? Oh, wait, they're going home. Colin, your mate Scotland, they're going home.
How you doing?
How are we? All right.
Yeah, we're good, man. What did you make of tonight's game?
Well, I must admit, I thought first half, we played really, really well. I thought we played some good stuff. Like I said to Rich, half time, and a few of the WhatsApp messages I sent him, I thought Saka and Grealish, especially in the first half, were of different class. And the young boy Saka, for the age he is, and we've got so much going for England, really. I mean, I know most people, knock England, the press and what have you, but when you think about people like Bellingham, like you said a little while ago, 17 years of age, Saka, I don't know how old he is, 20-odd.
19.
19. Sorry?
He's 19.
Yeah. And like I say, Grealish, I mean, people can say what they like about that bloke, about him falling over and this and that, but technically, that bloke has got to be up there with anything in the Premier League. I think he could go to a top 4 club anytime right now.
I'll tell you tonight, Colin. He didn't do enough.
Sorry,
he didn't do enough for me. He didn't do enough for me tonight.
Just got an assist.
Really?
I know he got an assist, but they all look all right. Maybe second half they all disappear. It'll be interesting what team he goes with next Tuesday, because you got Foden. Does Foden come back in? I know he didn't play him tonight because his yellow card. Foden would be in the team for me. He'd start definitely.
Yeah, we've had these conversations before. I mean, it's so difficult. I mean, you've got so many good, gifted, technically gifted players in the squad now. In fact, we've probably got arguably too many. It's a headache for Southgate, I must admit.
So he's paid big bucks to do, though.
Sorry?
It's what he's paid big bucks to do. Solve those headaches.
Oh, absolutely, Martin. I couldn't agree more.
Paul Lambert.
I say, going back to the game, I thought second half we kind of controlled it. I thought, you know, I mean, they had 1 or 2 efforts, yeah, but I think we was always in control of the game. But, you know, we was always in control of the result. I think I mean more than anything else, you know. But yeah, I mean, like I said at the end there, you know, the action starts now, and you know, I mean, I remember, you know, when we went in the Euro '96. I mean, you know, we kind of drifted through the first few rounds in the group kind of thing, and then along came Holland, and I mean, we absolutely smashed them. Made, you know, had a fantastic performance, and I had to say, you know, we can't do that in the knockout stages this time.
The thing is, though, Colin,
You know,
had we sat here and had this been a thing in 1996, we all would have sat here and said, "You don't want to face Holland. They're going to smash the back doors off us. They're going to be such a better team than us. They'll outthink us, outwork us," and nobody could have seen coming what happened.
Can you just put Ben Moore's comment up there, because he's not picking Sterling for Tuesday?
You've got to pick Sterling. He's our top goal scorer.
Plays, doesn't he?
yeah.
I'd find a way to play them all, but I think based on tonight, you've got to leave Foden off the. I think you've got to leave Foden out.
Why is everyone saying Foden can't play with Grealish then? What's the issue there?
He won't do.
No, he should do, but
yeah, because Southgate's too safe, isn't he?
Handbrake.
You're sticking Foden or Saka on the right hand side anyway, aren't you?
Look, I would drop out with one of Rice or Phillips, and I'd bring in, but then he won't do that because he's based. You know, I mean, Walker in that second half, well, the whole game was going backwards more than he was going forwards. When you've got that
defensively as well, Martin. He done a couple of good bits of work there defensively second half, because he can play. He can play full. I think he's played full back for Arsenal, hasn't he, Matt, this season, or wing back?
Is that Saka?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I originally thought his position was.
He won't be at Arsenal long.
No, he will not be there. He won't be after that.
After Burnley, bigger club.
Was Rice injured at half time, Rich?
No, he just took him off because I think he wanted to get Henderson on the pitch, didn't he? And give him 45. He done all right, Henderson. You know what you're getting with him?
Jordan's excuse.
I've got to say, I think Henderson played really well in the second half. I thought he'd done okay.
Okay.
I thought he did okay, man. You know, I really did.
I don't like him. I've never rated him. I've never rated Jordan Henderson, and
isn't it weird? I don't. Isn't it weird now, Colin? People in the comments are like, "You're starting Saka."
Yeah.
Before the game tonight, Saka's in the 11. People are saying, "Why is he in the 11?"
It's because he made an impact.
Yeah.
You know, he's turned heads. He did everything we didn't do.
Then he only left Foden on that because he got a yellow card. So there's a bit harsh on Foden not to. Foden plays for me.
That does suggest
When you've got Pep saying he's one of the best young players he's ever worked with, you know, he's a starter for me.
Yeah, but what I find interesting is ITV do this thing before every England game where the team's read out by the players. So it's like Harry Kane, striker, right? Phil Foden says, Phil Foden, centre midfielder. So he obviously thinks he's a central midfield player. Whereas Southgate plays him out wide. So you could move him inside and then you could accommodate these options, right? Yeah. Because he obviously thinks he's a central midfield player. By the way, he says Phil Foden, centre midfield player.
Proof's in the pudding right there, isn't it? But, I like Grealish in that kind of, I don't know what you think, Colin, that Grealish in that number 10 role. Because he's kind of like a throwback, isn't he? He keeps the ball so tight to his feet. And he spins off the players and he can draw a foul and he can put players through.
I'll tell you what, Matt. I'll tell you who he absolutely reminds me of. He reminds me of a very. I'll tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Tony Curry. Used to play for Leeds United. So Tony Curry was absolute quality, and the only reason he never played for England a lot was because he was just like Grealish. And to be honest, Rodney Marsh was in that same category as well. But Tony Curry, take it from me, he was in a very, very, very good Leeds side. He was quality. And I'll tell you, Jack Grealish reminds me a lot of Tony Curry. Any Leeds United fan of my age, tell you that.
You were a defender, Martin, weren't you?
I was.
if you're playing against Grealish with them little socks and them calves, you'd want to kick him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the issue is I wouldn't get near him to kick him.
No, but you would,
yes,
wouldn't you?
But yes, I would love to kick him. Yes. Yes. First 5 minutes, let him know you're there nice and early.
Look, he starts for me. I thought he done well first off. They all dropped off the pace second half, but he's in him and Foden. I think you've got to try and get both of them in the team, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, I think he'll start with Foden, bring on Saka if he has to for a change of pace, a bit of...
Yeah, that seems like the most likely things happen, I think.
I think if you're chasing the game, Saka's more likely than Foden, just to stretch it.
But his stock's gone up, hasn't it? In that game tonight, you'd have the whole of Europe or even like the world watching, and they'll think, "Who's this lad?" A lot of them probably wouldn't have seen him play before.
It's still very well Pep saying, Foden's one of the best young players I've ever played with. But you've got to produce it in the big moments, in the Premier League, in the big moments in tournaments where the world is watching. And Saka, fair play to him, done that tonight. Done great.
Yeah, calling Harry Kane. You need to step up, Mr. Kane. We need some goals from this point on, and you're the man, hopefully, to supply them. He did look good or better first half.
Yeah.
Who knows where we go from there with him? Michael Fitch, Clive Wood is the most skillful player with the ball at his feet that I've ever seen play. Grealish reminds me of Andres Iniesta. Lianison, poor Mount, won't get back in. His fault, I suppose, for hugging the jock. Lee. Fucking hell, Lee. So who do we want then as we close up tonight's show? 10:20. England have won. They're through, top of the group without conceding a goal. Who do we want? Colin, you've got Hungary, Portugal, Germany or France. Who do you want and who do you least want?
I would probably say I least want France. I want Germany because I love beating the Germans. Just love it.
Said with a true bulldog spirit.
That's nearly as good as beating Scotland.
Matt?
Well, I'm not very optimistic, but I would say I'd like us to play Portugal because let's not forget how old is Ronaldo, 36, 37, and the Germans kept him, even though they did score in the opening game. In that game the other night, the opening goal, they kept him fairly quiet, didn't they? We don't want to be playing France. Absolutely, we do not want to be playing the world champions.
Okay, Rich.
Yeah, I do agree. Look, we're through. We're at Wembley. Use that to your advantage. Use that 45,000 to our advantage. But yeah, the French, Mbappe, Griezmann, Benzema.
Kante.
Give you nightmares, didn't they? Pogba. Yeah, bring the Germans on.
That'd be a good spectacle against Germany. Yeah.
In an ideal world, I'd take Hungary. In an ideal world, I'd take Hungary.
Can we actually get them? Can they can finish second? Can they?
I think they 1 point. So who they play? They're playing Germany, and they're on 3. So yeah, you could 4, and then obviously if France win, they would finish second. Look,
maybe. I don't know.
I've not seen anything in that group yet outside of Germany's victory over Portugal, which I still maintain was tactically inept by Portugal. To say I'm scared of any team. If anything, give me Portugal based on the fact they couldn't contain Germany's left winger for the whole 90, and it was telegraphed coming in that they play a 3-4-3. Okay, if you're that stubborn, let me put Sterling, Grealish, Saka.
Yeah, and they got Pepe in the middle, weren't they?
I don't see them finishing second. Against the French, even if they got a point, they go to 4. But I think Germany will beat Hungary, won't it? And then we'd get France. I think
we'll get France, but we'll see.
Who knows? Maybe Germany aren't as exactly. But we'll be back live next Tuesday, 5 p.m. kickoff. So we'll have to work on the times, see what we're all doing. But yeah, we're through. We've done our job, and the ITV are now showing Scotland crash out to Croatia.
What a great goal that was.
One change for the next round. Matter face out, Tilsley in. That's all I'd like to see.
Definitely.
Colin, you got a preference on commentator?
Clive Tilsley all day long.
Absolutely. Right. With love, with care. We'll see you all later. We're back definitely on Thursday. So we'll see you then. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll
not coming home.
Yes, it is.